Okay, the purpose of this video is for students that maybe need some extra review on dimensional analysis, or for students that were absent and missed our class lecture on this. So let's first talk about what dimensional analysis is. So when we want to convert units, so let's say you want to go from centimeters to meters, or you want to go from meters to kilometers, or millimeters to kilometers, or even feet to meters, right? We can even go through different systems. Any conversion you want to do can be done with this dimensional analysis technique. Okay. So what it is a technique where we cancel units diagonally by setting up proportions. Okay, so mathematically setting up proportions to convert measurements. Okay. In order to do this, we need to have a conversion factor. So we need to know what equals what in a conversion factor, right? We need to know if we're going from meters to centimeters or centimeters to meters, we need to know how many centimeters there are in a meter, right? So you may know already that there are 100 centimeters in 1 meter. So that right there is a conversion factor, okay? You could also express this conversion factor the other way. 1 meter is 100 centimeters. Okay? So both of these express the same thing. So that's what a conversion factor is. Right? And it's very important that when you're doing this, you have the units written. So you want to make sure you have centimeters, you want to make sure you have meters there. Another example, like I said, we can look at inches and centimeters. We can go back and forth. So we could say 1 inch is the same as 2.54 centimeters. Okay, you could even look the other way and say, 1 centimeter is the same as 0.394 inches, right? So these are just conversion factors, and we use these to convert units, which are going to see in a minute when we do some examples. Okay, so what does this look like when it's set up? Well, you have some given unit, right, that you want to get rid of at the start. So, let's say we wanted to convert we'll stick with easy ones. We'll stick with, centimeters and meters. So you wanted to convert 10 centimeters, let's say, to meters. Okay, so your desired unit is meters. Your given unit is centimeters. So in this process, we're canceling out diagonally the centimeters. That's our given unit. So that we end up with only our desired unit, meters. Okay, you multiply across the top of our proportion and then divide by the bottom, and you get your ultimate desired unit. In this case, it is so we could do this again with any measurement. Let's say you wanted to convert 120 seconds to minutes. We know that there's 60 seconds in 1 minute. So 120 times our conversion factor, 1 over 60, and that gives you 2 minutes as our answer, which many of you could probably do in your head intuitively, right? But this process is important because you don't always know the conversion factor. So what are the steps for solving a problem like this? What are the steps for doing dimensional analysis? No matter what you're looking for, you always want to first identify what your starting units are and what your ending units are. So where are you going? Are you starting with seconds and going to minutes? Are you starting with grams and going to kilograms, right? Are you going from meters to kilometers, right? What is it that we're converting? So identify your starting and your ending units. You want to set it up through this goalpost method, which we're going to talk about, right? Later on. So basically the goalpost method is, it looks like this, and you'll start with whatever unit you want to get rid of, and you're going to cancel it, right? And let's say we're going from centimeters to meters, and then ultimately meters would be what you're left with. Again, we'll do an example so this makes more sense. Multiply across the top numbers, and then divide by each bottom number, and then you'll get a final answer in the correct unit. So make sure that your unit's canceled, make sure that your answer makes intuitive sense, and those are the steps to solving this type of problem. Okay, so I think it really makes sense once we do some examples. So right here, what I'm giving you are our conversion factors. All right, so 1 meter is 100 centimeters, same thing. 1 kilometer is 1,000 meters. So you'll use these conversion factors to ultimately do your dimensional analysis. All right, so let's do this first one together. So we want to convert 5,745 centimeters to meters. We know that 1 meter is equal to 100 centimeters. So you always want to start off by writing your initial known quantity, 5,745 centimeters. And we're going to set up our goalposts by drawing a horizontal line and a vertical line like this. Okay. We want to get to meters. That's our ending unit. So at the bottom here, we write centimeters. We want that to cancel. At the top, we write meters. Okay. There are 100 centimeters in 1 meter. Notice that centimeters now are diagonal to each other. They cancel. These units cancel. You multiply across the top. And then divide by your bottom number. So in this case, you do 5,745 times 1, which is just 5,745, divided by 100. You get 57.45 meters. Okay, so that's a simple one-step conversion, going from centimeters to meters. Now, if we want to go from centimeters to kilometers, that's a two-step conversion. Okay, in order to go from centimeters to kilometers, we have to first convert centimeters to meters, and then go from meters to kilometers. That's because meters is a base unit. Okay, smaller than meters, we have centimeters, we have decimeters, deci, centi, and milli. Larger than meters, right? We've got kilo as our biggest one that we're going to see here, and we're going to get into all of these, right? But kilo is above a meter. We've got decameters, hecta, and deca, right? These are all larger, and I'll give you those in a handout. But in order to go from centimeters to kilometers, you have to go centi to meters, meters to kilometers. Okay? So let's set this up the same way. 813,575 centimeters. Okay, again, this is a two-step conversion, so our goalpost is going to be a little bit larger like this. But we set it up the same way. We want centimeters to cancel first, convert it to meters. So we've got 100 centimeters in 1 meter. Centimeters cancel. We're left with meters. We're not done yet. There's still another step. Now we have to go from kilometers. We need to go from meters to kilometers. So now we have to cancel our meters. We put meters down here, kilometers up here. 1 kilometer is equal to 1,000 meters. Now our meters are canceled. We're left with just the unit we want, kilometers. So you multiply across the top of our goalposts. It's just 813,575 times 1 times 1. Now you you divide by the bottom, divide by 100, and then divide again by 1,000. Okay, so when you're doing this on the calculator, you hit divide by 100, hit enter, hit divide by 1,000, hit enter, and then you get your final answer in kilometers, which is 8.13575 kilometers. Okay? So basically what you're doing, you set up your goalposts, right? You make sure your units cancel. Okay, make sure your conversion factors are filled in. All right. And multiply across the top, and then divide across the bottom. Okay, so what I'd like you to do now is just pause your video and do your best to attempt to complete these 3. Okay, so pause your video now. Okay, so I think everyone has paused, and hopefully you gave these a try. If you're doing this at home for the first time, if you're just reviewing, maybe you did them again. But let's do these together to make sure that we did the right answer and did the analysis correctly. So this first one, again, we start with our known quantity, 5,230 grams. We want to convert that to kilograms. We know that 1 kilogram is equal to 1,000 grams. That is given. So we set up our goalposts. Grams goes down here because we want that to cancel. Kilograms goes up here. That's our desired unit. There are 1,000 grams in 1 kilogram. Grams cancel. Multiply across the top. 5,230 times 1 is just 5,230. Did I put an extra? You get 5 there. All right, 5,230 times 1 divided by 1,000, and you should get 5.23 kilograms. All right, next one, we're going from meters to centimeters. This is 0.689. That's a 9, 0.0689. Set up our goalposts. Meters. Okay. There's meters goes down here, so you want that to cancel. Centimeters goes up there. That's our desired unit. We know there is 100 centimeters in 1 meter. Meters cancel. Multiply across the top. 0.0689 times 100 divided by 1 should give you 0.89 meters. Okay. Last one is a two-step conversion. You're converting 4.5 kilometers to millimeters. So again, we start with our initial quantity, 4.5 kilometers. This is going to be a two-step conversion because we have to go from kilometers to meters and then meters to millimeters. So 4.5 kilometers, set up our goalposts. Okay. We want to get rid of kilometers, so it goes down here. We know there is 1,000 meters in 1 kilometer. Kilometers cancel. Now we have to convert from meters to millimeters. There are 1,000 millimeters in 1 meter. So we want to cancel meters. Millimeters goes up here. 1,000 millimeters in 1 meter. Meters are gone, canceled. We multiply 4.5 times 1,000 times 1,000 again, divided by 1, divided by 1. You should have gotten 4.5 million or 4,500,000. Okay. All right. So there is an overview of kind of how to do these. There is a worksheet. So if you look on the daily lesson plans through LMS, find the worksheet. I want you to try to do the first 4 on your own, attempt them, and then come back. So pause the video, do these first 4 on your own, and then we will go over them in the video. The rest of the worksheet is on you to complete, and I can check it when I see you in class if you're not sure, if you need more practice. This is not a graded assignment, but you do need to make sure that you do the practice and you're comfortable with it, right? Because you will need to know how to do this skill. Also on the worksheet, there are micrometers on there, so that's maybe not one you're familiar with. Micro, right? The symbol mu, right? There's 1 million micrometers. I think I put an extra 0 in there. 1 million micrometers in a base unit or in a meter. So just kind of keep that in mind. All right, so please pause the video now and complete these first 4. All right, welcome back. So if you're back watching the video, I'm just going to quickly kind of go through these first 4 to make sure you did them correctly, or if you need more practice. So the first one, 450 centimeters to meters. So you want to start off by writing your known given. And we're told on the paper that there are 100 centimeters in 1 meter, if you didn't know that. All right, we want to cancel centimeters, so it goes down here. Our desired quantity goes on the top, meters. 100 centimeters in 1 meter. Multiply across the top, divide by the bottom number. 450 divided by 100 should have given you 4.5 meters. All right. Next one, 1,200 millimeters to kilometers. This is going to be a 2-step one. We have to go from first to meters, and then from meters to kilometers. So 1,200 millimeters. I always start by writing my units in first that I want to do, because I know I got to cancel millimeters. They have to be diagonal. Then I just fill in my conversion factor. There's 1,000 millimeters in 1 meter. All right. Millimeters are gone. We've converted to meters. Now we want to go from meters to kilometers. So I want meters to cancel. Kilometers goes up here. Fill in my conversion factors. Okay. There's 1,000 meters in 1 kilometer. Meters canceled. I'm left with just my kilometers. I multiply across the top, divide by 1,000, divide by 1,000 again, and you should have gotten 0.0012 kilometers. Next one, 40 kilometers converted to meters. This is just a 1-step equation, so 40 kilometers. Write kilometers down here, meters up here, kilometers is canceled. Fill in our conversion factor. 1 kilometer contains 1,000 meters. multiply across the top. 40 times 1,000 is 40,000 meters. And then number 4, 68.3 centimeters to millimeters. So it wasn't given to you that there are 10 millimeters in 1 centimeter. If you didn't know that conversion factor, you could look it up. If you didn't know that and you wanted to convert to meters, you could convert this to meters and then convert it to centimeters. You can do it that way, right? But if you knew that there were 10 millimeters in a centimeter, you could just easily have set this up as a one-step guy. Centimeters cancel. Okay. And there's 1 centimeter, or sorry, 10 millimeters in 1 centimeter. So 6.83 times 10 gives you 683. All right. So you should be able to finish this worksheet now. You should have the information to do that. If you have questions, you can ask me in class, or you can send me an email. But make sure you do the practice, and I'll see you in class.